For our next panel discussion, I would like to invite Mr. Pavan Bhatia, Marketing Head, Albatross Media. This session will be moderated by Sandeep Singh, SVP Product Management at Oddbridge, India's leading trust and authentication space with products across employee background verification, third-party onboarding and risk management, and user or customer onboarding.
If you actually look at the entire real money gaming sector, right, it has grown to a very large number, obviously, till now. But I feel in the next 10 years, this is poised to grow exponentially. Correct. And primarily, this entire optimism, confidence that I have is driven by 4-5 factors. One, obviously, India now has the largest young population base in the world. Secondly, very tech-driven population. Third, very high disposable income. Fourth, access to very high-speed internet. And fifth, which is a very important factor, is need for entertainment, need for more. And obviously, real money gaming is a very immersive entertainment where you participate. And obviously, where you are participating with money, that brings in a lot of financial scrutiny, that brings in regulatory scrutiny. And I think as platforms, we have to be very careful that while we remain on the growth trajectory where we keep growing to the next level, we don't expose our platforms to unnecessary risk, unnecessary scrutiny. And hence, it becomes very important to onboard the right customer. And I think we have Pavan and Amit, who are heading to very, very exciting firms in this space. So I'll start off with you, Pavan. How do you define the right customer who is the right customer for a gaming platform? What will his or her needs be? Why is he coming onto the platform?
Okay, so very good afternoon. And so the right customer, see, in this industry, customers are very common. Customers play on multiple platforms. So the right customer is someone, like you rightly mentioned, someone who is looking for engagement, because after a certain point of time, there is constant boredom. There is a lot of repetition, even if it is social media, it's social media platforms, activities, things to do. And sporting is an activity where people really, really feel excited, because they have, there's fandom, there's glamour, there is the adrenaline rush, okay, and they want to be a part of it. Right. So defining the right customer is someone who wants to become a part of the action in the sport and who is genuinely there for this particular reason. Okay, he's not here to, maybe make a quick buck, or maybe, look at how he can just, work his way around things, So you can possibly say, if we take sporting fans, cricket, the most played sport, the entire user base of cricket who is currently young, who is active, and I won't even say young, today people age 55 and 60 are even young at heart, or young, in reality, they adopt technology very soon. So the customers, who genuinely want to become a part of the right action, right, who genuinely are not there for, fraudulent reasons. So that is someone, who I would identify as a right customer.
Got it. How do you see risk as a play in this entire real money gaming, and what are if you can talk about a specific example of risk that you have seen, and maybe how you have catered to it?
Okay, so so like Amit also mentioned, there are various levels of risk that exist in the industry. So, see, one of the recent examples I saw of, a client being exposed was, there was some kind of a loophole in an application, which a very, scrupulous user tried to find out. So the point is, he was genuinely looking for a loophole. He wasn't here to play the game. Yeah. He was here to look for a loophole so that I can get in the app and I can, manipulate and I can win.
Yeah.
You know, so that by doing so, he actually was able to withdraw a huge sum of money. And this actually came to light after the audit happened, and we figured out that there's something wrong, and this huge chunk of money was delivered to someone. So this is one of the financial risks that exists. Because if you have a robust developer team, if you have a robust verification processes and good PGs and people who support you, so that strategy and the process,
Yeah.
if you have that in place first, these kind of risks get eliminated very early.
Understood.
So what happens is many of the operators, they have an urgency of getting into the market. Okay, so they started off with processes. They built strategy on the basis of those processes, and somewhere down the line, they just let go of those things, and they want to get into the market, and that is where they expose themselves to certain risks. So also the risks of multiple accounts, and
Yeah.
there is a certain audience of players who specialize in doing these things.
Yeah.
So they wait for new operators to come on board कि हम उनका कैसा फायदा उठाएं
Right.
और कहाँ पे loopholes हैं.
Right, right. No, actually, it's a very valid point. Marketing pilferage is one of the biggest losses for any fantasy sports firm, where people will end up creating multiple accounts and keep taking those 200, 500 rupees as the joining. Uh, so, do you think a centralized solution where, uh, or keeping a tab on at the identity level, but obviously they are coming with different IDs, maybe keeping a tab at a photo level where, say, do you think such solutions are being tried to stop the pilferage, or have you seen any solution which is
Uh,
addressing this?
So see, a solution addressing this, the body has actually tried to work with certain solutions
Okay.
where all the operators can be safeguarded against unscrupulous operators. So see, an ideal scenario, this is something I would like to contribute. An ideal scenario would be possibly something like a Sybil for the users.
Yeah.
So where the users actually self KYC, and there is a set of people, there's a set of users who have already been registered. So as soon as they log into the app, they have to give their particular ID or code where they have already been verified once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, with the government being very strict on multiple PAN cards and
Right,
multiple
right.
IDs, the possibilities of fraud actually being committed then comes down drastically.
No, makes sense. I think what you are saying is having a centralized identity system at a level, and then all firms are using that as a pipe to basically input and then
Correct.
onboard, rather than all of them doing verification at their end.
Exactly,
And maybe,
exactly.
yeah, it's the right thing. I think as users start earning more and more, there is also possibility of money laundering risk, where they are taking depositing money from a certain account and sending it to another account. I think these are some of the risks that we as a firm have also seen. Now I would like to come to marketing part of it, right? Uh, how do you see when firms are acquiring customers? Obviously, there will be pressure on the overall user acquisition growth. Is there a right playbook which can be defined? Okay, these are the customers that, like Mit also talked about, certain customers who have the propensity to pay. Is there some pseudo or something which you have seen ki, हाँ यार, when you are acquiring, these are the few things that you should look at, maybe their intent, their buying behavior across something else, and then target them? These are the people who will likely play and deposit money.
Okay, so see, in my marketing journey with fantasy gaming, I have noticed that the paying customers, the genuine customers, okay, they lurk around certain areas because these are the people who genuinely want to win, okay, and they want to win legally.
Right.
So there are certain areas, possibly certain influencers or certain channels that they follow, or not even that. It's very simple to know that a certain set of players will be genuine.
Right.
Okay, I'll tell you how. When we ran a campaign for one of our clients, okay, they wanted user acquisitions, and the figure that they gave us was huge, and we told them that don't do that. I mean, you want growth, we understand you want growth, but your growth has to be gradual. You can't skip 3 flights of stairs and go to the fourth one directly. You have to step on the first and the second and the third and the fourth, because that is where you will actually learn where the flaws exist in your system. Okay, so the biggest piece of advice that I would give is you take it slow. Don't hunt for the huge database of registrations and huge database of users, and don't look for that. Go slow, go gradual, and that is where you will actually get the real users who will stick with you. And like I also said earlier, if you have your processes and strategies in place, you give regular winnings, you disburse the winnings on time, and you have your easy paying processes, it's all going to be clean.
Got it. Got it. There is also, a lot of talk on, and there has been steady taxation that has come in the sector, starting with TDS and GST now. How do you, as a firm, if, for example, if you have to work with companies and talk to them about, and work with players on one hand and the companies on one hand, that this is a space where there will be taxation, but this is what is needed, let's do it the right way. How will you go on this approach? Like, as a firm, if I have to tell my customers that there will be TDS on your final outtakes, this thing, but still you will earn a good amount of money if you play well. While the new players, the new companies that are coming up, there is taxation. So how will you take this two-sided approach?
See, so the taxation bit of it is something that we advise our clients on very clearly. So we make it very clear that adhering to these norms, because it has been a big struggle from where the fantasy gaming industry started to where it has come today, and the projection that the entire industry has, where it needs to go. We need to make sure that we are always aligned. We don't need to find loopholes or find exit routes from taxation. So educating the customer, for us the customer would be the operators and the users. So educating them that you will be subject to taxation and you are liable to pay certain taxes, and yet the industry is very profitable, is very important. And we actually spend a good amount of time on explaining to them and how they can integrate it into their application and how they integrate it into their marketing, that we are all legal, we are all paying taxes on time, and these are the kind of taxes that are applicable. So we always insist on making it very black and white. Because they need to be in the good books, they need to be on the right side, and this is not the time when we can actually afford to go on the wrong side of the law.
No, makes sense. So as a common group, do you think there is a possibility of doing education campaigns that, we are not here to take your money, but yes, there is a certain taxation amount that will be cut, and do you think such common campaigns are possible here? Something that we saw in the mutual fund industry also, though that was more of acquisition campaign, but still.
So yes, those campaigns are very much possible, and they are very important as well. So maybe a directive from the body which goes out to all the operators that perhaps out of the 30 campaigns or 20 campaigns that you run in a month, one of them has to be regarding educating your users.
Yeah.
So see, if the user is pre-informed, that this is what is going to happen, and this is, if you deposit this amount and if you win X amount, and this is the actual amount that you will be receiving once you request a withdrawal. And these are our withdrawal timings, and this is a schedule of withdrawal. So once that is properly informed to the customer, they understand. Okay, because I have seen customers, you know, even एक 5 रुपए के लिए भी वो लोग आके लड़ जाते हैं.
Right.
You know, वो लोग कोई तो इतने फ्रस्ट्रेट हो जाते हैं कि वो ऐसे लिखते हैं मैं अपना घर का ज़मीन वमीन बेच के आ रहा हूँ तुम्हें मिलने के लिए, तुम मिलो मुझे कहाँ पर हो. You know, till that level का frustration होता है यूजर्स को. So it's for them, it's their winning. It's
Yeah.
that, you know, feeling of ecstasy कि मैं जीता हूँ और मेरे हक के पैसे हैं.
Right.
So educating them is very very important. Maybe if you know splash screens are used or regular information is sent out to them that, you know, please do check the taxes that are applicable, because they are applicable. And
Right,
the
right.
withdrawal screen has, you know, a big mention that, you know, taxes will be applicable. To know more, you can just, you know, access how it is done and what it is done, and we do not retain any amount, or, you know, अपनी मर्जी से हम कुछ नहीं काटते हैं types.
Right.
So
Right.
that is very important on the user front. For the operators, yes, you know, regular information and regular understanding on how they need to manage their taxation side of the bit. You know, their
Yeah.
GSTs and how they
Yeah,
need to do.
yeah.
I think that's very important, because gradually they tend to drift. You know,
Yeah.
which is very important to bring them back on track.
Yeah, yeah. Have you seen cases where people have written and said that, you know, I don't fall in the taxation bracket, or I have never paid income tax, now you are cutting TDS, and because there would be cases.
Yes, there are many such cases जहाँ पे लोग बोलते हैं कि, you know, मैं टैक्स भरता ही नहीं हूँ.
Right, right.
ये सारी चीज़ें, मेरा पैन कार्ड है लेकिन
Right,
मैंने आज तक भरा नहीं है, तो
है.
मुझे लागू नहीं होता है.
Right, right.
वो होता है, that's very normal. However, it gets very challenging for
Right.
them, you know, to explain to them कि कैसे हम,
Right.
you know, आप actually tax bracket में नहीं आते हो, but हमें पैसे देने हैं तो हमें टैक्स काटना ही पड़ेगा.
Right, right,
It gets very challenging. उनको प्यार से समझाना पड़ता है. But you know, when you have 10,000 users saying the same thing, or 20,000, it's very difficult to communicate to each and everyone individually.
Yeah.
Because they want to speak to someone.
Yeah.
उनको WhatsApp भी नहीं चाहिए, उनको चाहिए फ़ोन उठाओ, मेरे से बात करो, मेरे को बताओ कि क्यों ऐसे हुआ है.
Yeah.
It
And
gets
that
very
would
challenging.
be adding to the cost also of serving.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So that adds to the cost. However, it is important, you know, because see, that customer is a paying customer.
Yeah.
And he is the one who is going to continue playing.
Paying. So-
And he is going to add to your revenue.
Right.
So it's very important to, you know, address that customer, that each and every customer is very important.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if there is, you know, pre-information given to them on regular basis without their asking it,
Right.
so that will actually ease the burden majorly.
Yeah. No, makes sense. I think more we spend on educating the customer at the first instance, then most likely he or she is likely to come back. So makes sense. Next thing I wanted to talk about is the impact of gaming. Like, you know, when people are, like you talked about anecdote of, you know, person saying कि मैं घर बेच के आऊँगा भाई, you know. Have you seen examples people spending a lot of money beyond their means and then losing that money and then getting addicted to it? Is there such instances, or is the market too young right now to even see it?
So I'll be very honest. In the fantasy gaming industry, I have, you know, not really seen any case as such personally. I'm sure there would have been. However, in the non-organized industry, I have personally seen people who have, you know, wagered beyond their means with an intention to actually, you know, make a quick buck or make a big buck, and they have lost everything they ever had.
Yeah.
You know, so that's really very tragic. But like I said, you know, it is possible in the fantasy gaming industry as well.
Got
You know,
it.
and it's very important to again educate them that you know, you have to play within your means, and this game is more so meant for entertainment
And
not for you know, running your house or
Right,
making a
right.
quick buck or a livelihood. It's not a jackpot.
Yeah.
It's your entertainment for you.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is a reward for, you know, entertaining yourself.
But the differentiation, so Amit rightly talked about differentiation on the user onboarding. You don't want to change the entire flow, which makes sense. But do you think differentiation of, you know, positioning your brand, positioning who is playing on my platform, what is the fun on playing on my platform, more from a storytelling perspective. Is that a possibility? Because as the market develops, as the market grows, there will be niches where people will say, for example, I want to play on a platform which is very, very regional language, focused on me, maybe video based approach. Do you think such cohorts will start coming in the future?
So yes, from a marketing perspective, the foundation of the game remains the same.
Yeah.
Okay, the process remains the same.
Right.
The differentiation factor is yes, storytelling works very strongly in marketing. Okay, so when we are able to put forth a message which actually connects with the user, and it is something that he is looking for in terms of ease of access for him, or some place he feels that he is more comfortable getting into, where his peers are also present. जैसे कोई ऐप है जहाँ पे आप नहीं खेल रहे हो लेकिन मैं हूँ और 4 जन खेल रहे हैं, एंड देन वी इंट्रोड्यूस दैट टू यू एंड यू लाइक यार ये लोग खेल रहे हैं तो मैं भी ज्वाइन करता हूँ. सो the peer pressure, the peer support rather, and the storytelling of it. The storytelling of it comes, where does it come in is why us? Okay, because we have come from a certain place and we appeal to a particular audience, that is you.
Yeah.
We appeal to your friends, we appeal to your category of people, we appeal to your region, we appeal to your language or something of that sort. Yes, specializations in terms of language variations, gameplay variations, or probably even introducing a certain level of AI into the app, which is going to be the future, is actually going to make a difference, because foundation जैसे सबका same है. The
Right,
gameplay
right.
is the same. The experience that you will be giving to the customized experience that you will be giving to the user will actually start making a difference henceforth.
Yeah. No, I think as platforms develop, as more and more people start coming in, there will be need for creating custom stories, which because see, when I'm playing a game on an app, I am feeling at the end of it, I want to be obviously entertained. I want to feel better about myself, and how does that experience make me do it? So thank you, panelist. I think we talked about a lot of points. We understood the core reason of when people are coming on a platform, they are playing games. This is a market which will keep growing. There are underlying risks that as companies we will need to factor in, we will need to be careful about, we will need to keep investing in. But overall, the market sentiment is very positive, but we need to keep doing the right things. We need to keep doing it in a very controlled manner over a period of time, and the results will be enormous. So thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.